You might think it unwise to take on the might of NATO with your fists, but the Serbs of northern Kosovo are pretty angry. Yesterday they attacked NATO troops from KFOR, the contingent assigned to keep the peace between ethnic Serbs and the majority Kosovar Albanians. They're furious about ethnic Albanian mayors taking office in Serb-majority regions. Some 30 KFOR troops were injured. Today, the EU foreign policy chief was careful to blame both Serbs and Kosovars.
I ask both parties to urgently take measures to de-escalate tensions immediately and unconditionally. And any further unilateral action has to be avoided and calm being restored.
Those words are aimed partly at Kosovo's leader, Albin Kurti, who pushed ahead with local elections despite a Serb boycott in Serb-majority areas, and also at the Serbian president, who sent troops to the border.
We deployed our forces in accordance with the situation at places where we think it necessary. We will visit many places with our army. We will not allow the pogrom of the Serbian people.
Kosovo, with its capital Pristina, declared independence from Serbia in 2008, a decade after the war that gave power to the ethnic Albanian majority. The divided town of Mitrovica is a flashpoint, and this weekend's violence was in Leposavic, Zevcan and Zubin, all of which have a Serb majority. Enter the tennis champion Novak Djokovic, who wrote, "Kosovo is the heart of Serbia" on a camera lens, a provocative message sure to anger Kosovar Albanians. And the Russians, placing the problem at the heart of the tension between the West and Russia.
A large eruption is brewing in the centre of Europe, in the very place where, in 1999, NATO carried out an aggression against Yugoslavia.
In 1999, NATO bombed the Serbian capital, Belgrade, after the Serbs committed war crimes in Kosovo. NATO troops went in, but neither Serbia nor its Russian backers accept Kosovo's subsequent independence. Today, the 4 northern districts were calm, but NATO is sending more troops to keep the peace, all against the background of the war in Ukraine and heightened tension with Russia. A little local problem in 4 small areas of Kosovo has the potential to get quite big and quite ugly.
Well, earlier I spoke to Viola von Kramon, the German Green Party MEP, who is the European Parliament's Kosovo rapporteur. She's just returned from the region in the last few days. I began by asking her what the situation was like on the ground.
The situation without the withdrawal of the special police forces on the ground, which is being seen as a threat for ordinary citizens, heavy armed vehicles, heavy armed special police with Kalashnikovs and masks is not what you would like to have in your ordinary neighborhood with kindergarten, middle school, high school and so on. So people feel threatened, and that's why they have protested. But then yesterday, on Monday, that was exploited, that was abused, of course, by criminal structures coming from Serbia, being part of the north of Kosovo, and even, we do not have a proof for that, they may come from externally, so even from Russia.
At the end of last year, both France and Germany appointed special envoys to engage with Serbia and Kosovo, determined to try and ensure peace and calm between the two. That does not seem to be working in any sense at the moment, does it? What are the options now? What can the EU do, for example?
So ask for more creative solution, ask to bring all the different actors from Kosovo on the table to make sure it is an ownership from Kosovo. It can be carried out by the actors who have a saying in Kosovo. I think this would make much more sense than always asking the international for solutions. Yes,
indeed,
I think the EU has failed. I think the EU could have done much more to put pressure also on Belgrade, and there I think the Kosovars have a point. I think we have to go back and definitely ask Mr. Vučić to calm down the situation on his side, but nevertheless we also need to see that special police forces to bring mayors into the buildings is not acceptable either.
And it's important, isn't it? You talk about calming down the situation. Give us a sense of how important you think that is in response to the Foreign Minister of Russia, Sergei Lavrov, who said the situation in Kosovo is alarming and could provide another conflict in the centre of Europe. How do you assess?
Unfortunately, the situation as it is now is a gift. It's a gift for everyone who has an interest in destabilizing the region, has a gift of further interfering into this situation, it has a gift of bringing Kosovo into and bringing the whole region. It's not just limited or restricted to Kosovo. It has impacts to each and everyone in economical difficulties and so on and so forth. So for Moscow, this is definitely a home run, and we should prevent this from happening. We should really stop all the Russian interference and all opportunities where Russia could interfere. And that means we have to stick together. We have to call on all the ones and all the actors in Kosovo who have an interest to calm down the situation.